right, and people are talking about just something that's going on in the world or whatever, the social media won't get on it until it gets to that place where it gains a lot of attention, where there's a lot of people talking about it. Then they put it on the news. So in this situation, we're hearing about this cashless society in New York, where a lot of the businesses did not want to take cash because they were afraid that, you know, the cash would be contaminated or tainted with this whole coronavirus. Now, they're saying right now that there's lawsuits that are being filed against these, or has been filed, and the state has said that these businesses cannot turn people away for using cash. But I'm telling you, this is just the beginning of the major plan, which is to get rid of all cash. And they always tell you by warning you. So like, just like they warn you in their movies about their agendas and how they're going to go about it, and how it's going to, you know, kind of play out. And you look at these actors and you're looking at these scripts on the movie and you're like, wow, that looks like something that could possibly happen. And then all of a sudden, a couple years later, even maybe a couple months later, that very thing that you saw in their movies is happening in the world. What that is a form of witchcraft. So when the satanic elite that works through their media and all of their entertainment sources, when they want to push something out, they have to tell you before they do it. And the reason why they do that is because in a lot of their secret societies, it's like they follow the yin yang principle, which is the good and the bad, or the dark and the light. And so they feel like they have to exhibit light and darkness. And so they because they believe that good is evil and evil is good, and they believe that there has to be a balance to it. So if there's no balance, then it's not going to work out. So what they do in life is they create all of the major catastrophes and all of the uprisings and uproars that happen all over the world. But then what they do is they come and then they remedy the problem, Hegelian dialect, where they come and then they solve the problem. And that's their good work, so to speak, because they created the problem, which is the bad. And then now they have to come and give the people the remedy, which is good. And in their hearts and minds, because they're so messed up, because they've been so deceived by the fallen one, they believe that that's like putting them back in good standing when they do these evils and then they do the good after it, or what they perceive as good. Then they're okay with it. So in New York right now, they are having lawsuits put against businesses for denying people with cash. And it's because of their fear that the coronavirus might be spreading and that the money might be tainted, and you can spread it with the cash. Now, as far as how this associates with the Bible, it says in Revelations chapter 11, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark of, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, when we look at history and current events in the light of prophetic passages found in Yah's word, we can see the reason, why our present system of commerce is being set aside and a new economic system is being implanted. And in Yah's word, we learn that the steps that are taking us into the cashless society have not happened as a result of a series of random events or because of a natural evolution in the way we do business. Each of the steps that we have taken is part of a carefully crafted plan, which is being orchestrated by the fallen one, Hashitan. Upon its completion, this plan will bring the people of the world who have not accepted Christ as their savior to the place where they will worship the fallen one as God. And so the transition from our present economic system to be closed to the closed cashless, or what they want is an RFID economic system, is an essential part of Satan's plan and one of the final steps towards his goal as being worshipped as God. Because in the end, all the fallen one wants is to be worshipped as God. He wants to go to the sides of rise to the sides of the north and control heaven. He wants to control the third heaven, since he got kicked out of the third heaven onto this plane, which is the second heaven. He's the prince of the power of the air. And so now he reigns, and his kingdom reigns on the earth. And so he wants to elevate back to that place where he was before his fall, but he also wants to be worshiped as God. And what his plan is to get people to bow down to him. And he does not play fair. The fallen one doesn't play fair. He doesn't care if you worship him willingly, as long as you worship him. I'll say that again. The fallen one doesn't care if you worship him willingly. He just wants you to worship him. So he will put a pandemic, like something like, when I say pandemic, I say hoax, something like this whole, I'm not going to say the name, but this whole virus thing that's out here now. He'll put this out here and generate and stir all of this fear amongst the people. And so now the people feel like, well, there's no other way out for me other than to comply. And so if they're taking away my freedoms and they're saying that I can't do the things that I normally have been accustomed to doing without accepting this thing in this context, this vaccine, then I might as well just take this vaccine and be able to go back to my life. And so basically and the people are being prepared to basically come into a new reality where your life and your destiny is basically, you're like a puppet on a string being pulled by an entity or people, which are these workers of iniquity that do not care about you, that have an oath with Satan to lead the world to worshiping the beast or Satan, to worshiping him, and basically granting Satan his wish of being that one that is worshiped. That is, he's not going to ever assume to gain any power in heaven. He's not going to he's not ever going to be able to rise to the sides of the north. He's not going to do that. But since he knows his judgment, he knows that his only play in this game is to get the people to fall and to get the people and basically to lose their souls and be as him. But his main goal is to have these people, before they do that, worship him so God can see it and say, look, so the following can say, look, your people worship me now. And so with this cashless society, which has been talked about in Revelations chapter 11, it is going to be orchestrated in a way in which the people will accept it. The people will want it. And because of what's going on with Corona, the people will want it because they feel like if they don't take it, then their freedoms and their life that they're accustomed to living will be taken away from them. So the fallen one does not care how you worship him. He just cares that you worship him. That's all he cares. And so when we look at history and the current events in the light of prophetic messages found in passages in the word of the Most High, we can see the reason why our present system of commerce is being set aside and a new economic system is being implanted. In Yah's word, we learn that the steps that are taking us into the cashless society have not happened as the result of a series of random events or because of natural evolution in the way in which we do business. Remember that it's everything that is happening is not, it's not organic. It is generated. It's something that is beyond man's scope to understand, because we think that the things that happen on earth to us on a day-to-day basis, it's because they're a series of choices that people make. That's their choice alone. Let me say that again. We think that things happen on this earth based off of the series of choices or the freedoms that the freedom that men have to make choices. We think that it's just because of those choices, good or bad. We believe that that's the reason why our world is being shaped and is going in the direction which is going. But that's not really the case, because once you allow yourself to be a vessel for the fallen one, as these leaders have been, they've allowed themselves to be vessels for the fallen one. So now the decisions that they make are completely not organic, but they're synthetic, because they're not theirs. They're not real. They come from the fallen one. So he's funneling his ideas. He's funneling his agenda, his plan through their minds, and they just carry it out because of the oath and because of the tie now that they have with him. So the things that are happening have nothing to do really with the men that are doing it. They're being willing vessels and they shall be judged. But the one that's leading them to do it is the fallen one. And this is nothing but his orchestrated plan that is being put into place, leading us to this place that we're at now. But because the Most High Yah is infinite, and he's the one that has all control of both sides, good and evil. He says in the Bible, the Most High Yah does the good and the evil. He creates the good and the evil. But the Most High Yah is basically saying, okay, well, I know what you're going to do, Satan, already. I've already seen it because I'm infinite and I'm omnipresent, and I know what's going to happen from the beginning to the end, right? But I'm going to allow this thing to happen, all in my scope, all in the parameters of how I've already said or made this thing, how I've already designed for this thing to play out. I'm going to let you do it, but then I'm going to also make provisions for my people, those that love me, those that care, those that seek me. And seek the kingdom of Yah and righteousness, those that have that trust in him, that believe and do not see. I'm going to make provisions for them, even though you have planned to do this, and they're going to find their way out of this situation, even though it looks like there's no hope at all, because the just shall live by faith. And not everyone shall be able to understand these principles. Not everyone will grasp on to eternal life, because it takes faith. It requires a certain communication, a certain relationship with the Most High Yah, cultivating your heart, consecrating your heart, giving you that connection with him, to be able to see within the lie, to be able to depart from Babylon, depart from the ways of Babylon, seeing that he is the only one that will give you that life that you need to make it into his kingdom. Only as some will see it. The world to come is not for the many, it is for the few. And so only a few, only a remnant out of the children of Israel, out of the Negro that are scattered to the four corners of the earth, the children of Israel, and the Gentiles that will cling to Jacob and serve the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, trusting in Yahushua HaMashiach. Only they will be able to navigate and escape this evil that's coming up on the world. So also, what you have to understand, well, actually, let's go to the comment board right now. So right now I have it says there's 6 people in the comment board, but I have one person that has commented right now, and that's Miracle. So let me put that on the board. There it is. It's just crazy right now. It is very crazy. I understand. You look at times like this and you can't understand why people are acting the way they're acting. Now this is, if you don't have the Most High Yah, you'd say, I don't understand why these people are acting in this way. Nothing makes any sense anymore. I'm just trying to live every day in peace with my brethren and just stay out of trouble and just do and seek God. But there's these people that are in control of this world right now, temporarily, that are doing all of these things, and it makes no sense. And sometimes, Miracle, sometimes it's like when we see these things that they're doing on the news and all these uprisings and stuff, to me, it's like I ask myself, and thinking about them, don't you know we know what you guys are doing? All of these things, Miracle and Brian, shalom, Brian, all of these things that are happening, they're so obvious, and it's so obvious sometimes. I'm like, is discernment even at this point, even for seeing certain things? Do you need strong discernment to see what these people are doing? It doesn't seem like we even need strong discernment to see what these people are doing. Now, you need discernment, and without discernment, you don't have nothing. You got to have discernment. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just like, it's so obvious the things that they are orchestrating and how they're navigating us and leading us down this path where it's nothing but destruction. It's nothing but like it's not organic. It's all contrived, and it doesn't seem like they feel like we're smart enough to understand what they're doing. It's like, and yes, Miracle, they don't care. That's the crux of the whole thing. They do not care. And Miracle, you know why they don't care? And Brian, is because their minds have been seared. They have a reprobate mind. They are not able to hear from the Most High Yah in a manner in which will change them to do the right thing. They can't do the right thing anymore, because we're at the last stage of time where I believe the Most High Yah is choosing his people. It's the wheat and the tare. The Most High Yah is pulling up the tares. He's separating the wheat and the tare. And so those that are his, I believe, are being, they're kind of being marked. They're being marked to be his. as being, okay, the angels are going to put this place to a blaze, and everything is going to be destroyed soon. But the Most High Yah won't allow his people that serve him, that love him, that remnant, right? Now the remnant's the children of Israel, and it's also the Gentiles that will follow, and not follow, but that will cling to Jacob and follow the Most High Yah in spirit and truth. He is going to save them. But right now you have a mixture, the wheat and the tares. And so you don't know right now who is who, because people have on a game face right now. People's game face is where you can't really determine who they're for. Are they for Satan? Or are they for the fallen one? Because a lot of people are just operating in deception. And so there's witches and warlocks out there, but they might be teachers. They might be people that work in the hospitals, doctors, nurses, but then they could be witches and warlocks, and you would not know because they're putting on their game face right now. But it does say in the Bible, it says that the truth shall be known. The truth shall be made known. So these things that are happening, these things that are happening in the world will not go unknown in these days. These are the days where who you are will be put on display. Who you are truly will be put on display. The Most High will air you out and allow for your true personhood, your true person, your nature to be displayed for the people to see. In the Bible, it says that we shall know our teachers. You will know those that teach you. That's why I implore everyone in these days. Being a targeted individual has taught me this, right? Because I know that our lives are an open book for the spiritual realm. We're not just walking out here in this world, just making decisions and no one sees and no one knows. You do something in secret and you feel like, oh, well, no one sees what I'm doing. I'm actually getting away with it. You're not getting away with anything. There's people walking down the street that know everything you're doing. And you can say they're not people, they're not really humans or not, but they look like humans. There's angels, y'all. There's angels. Either there's good angels and then there's fallen angels, and they have the ability to transform into different things. It says in the Bible that you might be amongst an angel unaware. So that's why when your actions and the way that you treat your fellow man, the way that you live your life, you have to keep that in your mind. That's a form of accountability, so to speak. The children of the Most High Yah, the Israelites scattered to the four corners of the earth, the Gentiles that shall cling to Jacob. I'm saying those that trust in Christ, those that read this word, they have to keep that in their mind. You might be amongst an angel unaware that looks just like a human before you, and they know what you're doing. So when you think you're sneaking around and doing evil and you think that nobody's seen it, and then you start to feel ways inside your mind, like you feel guilt and you feel this overly sense of paranoia and all, it's because there's a reason for it, because you are actually being observed by all of the holy angels in heaven. You are being observed by all the demons and warlocks and witches that can operate on that extrasensory level in the spirit because of that connection that they have with the spiritual realm. You're being, of course, seen by the Most High Yah. He sees us he knows everything, sees everything. The fallen one, he knows these things by his workers that go around and monitor and surveillance people without you knowing. Don't you know that everything that you do is on camera? Even if it's a physical camera or a spiritual camera, you and me are on camera at all times, because our actions are going to determine where we will rest in this next life that's coming. And so the Most High Yah, he is going to choose a people that love him, that serve him in spirit and truth. And you and me will not be able to put the wool over the Most High Yah's eyes. If we believe that the Most High Yah sent his son Yahushua Mashiach to die for us, he rose on the third day, and he's coming again, right? And he shed his blood for us. We shall have everlasting life. But check this out. He says, do you love me? You say you love me, but you don't obey me. You have to obey his commandments as well. So if you don't obey the Most High Yah's commandments in spirit and truth, and you seek him and you serve him, when you fall down, you get back up by coming, and you do not tarry to return to the Lord. You repent of your sins and you turn around. And I would say now, don't think you have as much time as you think you had before, because there's not as much time left in the world as there was before, because you've seen all the evil and wickedness that's occurring every single day in ways that we can't really process because it's just so much happening so fast. But you also have to understand that the Antichrist society is a society that gets created out of people not really noticing it, because things like they happen so quickly, so often, all the time, so sporadic, just all the time. You get used to it. You get numb to your surroundings, to what's actually going on around you. And so now it becomes so normal. You don't know what time it is. You don't know what time it is because everything looks natural to you, normal to you. Everything looks like it should look when it's not. If a person that was living, that was like maybe 15, 20 years ago, was zapped into this future time, and experienced these things, they wouldn't know what to think about anything. They would lose their mind, possibly. Oh, you guys don't have that freedom anymore? You guys can't just go and get on the bus and go to another city whenever you want to, and you got to wear a mask? Hold on, man. What are you talking about? You can't just say those certain things anymore in the world without somebody tripping and then all of a sudden start saying that, bringing lawsuits against you because you said this certain thing. Oh, well, what are you talking? What's going? Because this music's on the radio. Man, that woman's talking about having sex basically on the radio. What are you talking? Because this evil, this sin, it progresses. The sin progresses. And once sin progresses, it destroys the foundation. Everything gets corrupted. Everything gets corrupted. And then when you've been immersed in this stuff for so long, just never ending, it's like you just get used to it. And so now in the Bible says that they'll be drinking and they'll be marrying, and then the end shall come. It always made me feel like when I was younger, it's like, okay, well, don't they know like what's going on around them? Wouldn't they just repent based off of how wicked the world is and everything that's happening, and how the Most High God said this environment that we be living in the last days will be just worse than any other time in history of the world? Why wouldn't the people see it and say, okay, I'm gonna repent. I see what time it is, and I'm gonna turn around and serve the Most High Yah, or they would say Jesus, and I would trust in Him. I'm gonna get away from sin. When I do sin, I'm gonna repent. And I'm gonna be real about it. No, because the thing is, time does time. It doesn't matter how much time goes by. It matters how your mind is able to perceive how time has gone by, and to be able to acknowledge that things have actually changed. Now, if the society is trying to keep you in the mindset that things are the same way they were back when, right? Everything is okay. Oh, we're just doing this, it's fine. And we're just going to do this and it's fine. When they're passing laws to say that the homosexuality is okay, transgenderism is okay. You can be a girl or a boy. It doesn't matter what you are. Oh, we'll just splice these two roots or these two animals and make some different type of creation. Oh, we'll make these viruses or these vaccines that we know would hurt somebody, but we'll just talk to the people and convince them that it's okay, even though it doesn't make any sense because it takes 8 to 10 years to make a vaccine. But see, since we have a need for it, we'll just sneak it past them by putting it on our news and having our newscasters say little kind, sweet words and very encouraging words to make the people want to take this thing. And just that's all that really matters. The people won't talk about it really rationally. The people won't really protest about it, because we got them in the place where they just will do whatever we want. And we just will just keep on reverberating and regurgitating these lies to them. And because they don't do their study, and because they don't understand that there's people out there that actually want to hurt them, that hate them, that people out there that are following a spiritual path that's not of the right spiritual path, because they don't know about these things, then we'll just get past them on everything and we'll just do whatever we want. And so then the people don't understand it because they don't study. The people don't look for those things in the Bible, the nuggets in the Most High Yah's word that teaches them about what's going on in the world. The people don't see it because they want to ignore it. They want to just keep living their life in the lavishness of their so-called life in this Babylon. Keep this thing going, because if I keep this thing going, and I keep my mind stayed on what I see, the mirage that I see, I don't have to go through the pain of what the reality is. The pain of what the reality is your world is sick. Your world is decrepit, is dying, and it's going to die. The world, as far as the society that you live in, it will perish because the Most High Yah is getting ready to destroy this place. Because did you think that evil would last forever? Did you actually think evil would last forever? It has an expiration date. The one that created the world is life and love and peace and joy. You think he hates? You think he doesn't hate sin? Do you think he does not hate the evil that occurs in this world? And he has the scope to see it every moment, every day, days, and whatever. In eternity, there's no time, but he can see it all the time. He sees, he's not all, he sees it. He knows it. You think he's going to allow this to continue to happen? Do you honestly, people that serve the fallen one, do you honestly think that the Most High Yah, I know you know about him, you think that this is actually he's actually going to allow this thing to continue to go on this path? You got to be out of your mind. But see, that's the deception, the reprobate mind. That's the reprobate mind. All praise, dude. His name is Dude. What's up, man? Let me see. Miracle's still in there. Let me read some of these comments. Okay, Miracle. Okay, first, Brian. What's up? What's up, Brian? Miracle. The thing about it is they don't care. No, they don't care. Not at all. And they're not going to care because the veil will be kept over their eyes until they're destroyed. Let me see. A lot of so sinister. It is so sinister, Miracle. How do you feel? Brian says, let me see. How do you feel about the election going on right now? Okay. Your picture is interesting. Hope it's not directed towards me. But if it is, shalom. The election going right now is judgment by the Most High Yah. Trump was a judgment in itself. Trump represented the people that were in this world. These people that have these beliefs and feelings of racism and hate and directed towards the Most High Yah's people, the Israelites. These people that are greedy, these people that are that want to continue the supremacy that they've had, the provisions, the unmerited provisions that they've had to rule this world and to have this other position of power above other people. That's why Trump was elected, to show you that the Most High Yah sees you. Let me say that again. And I'm not and once again, Judah J is not talking about all people that vote for Trump or all people of a certain race. The Most High Yah, the Judah J is me. I'm talking about the people that have that spirit, which is the predominant spirit in this country, in Babylon, in America, the daughter of Babylon. He was their judgment to show them, yes, I see who you are. I see the type of people you are. So I'm gonna make a leader rise up, and I'm gonna allow this leader to be your president, right? Because the Most High Yah chooses, basically, he allows people to be put in office, no matter if they're good or evil. It happened in Israel. Well, when the children of Israel were doing wrong, then there were wicked leaders that rose up. When they were doing good, there were good leaders that rose up. So the Most High Yah shows you in that example that he is in control of every leader that comes up all over the world. Every leader that rises up and becomes something and gets into office, even though you might say, oh, that person was put there by some secret society. You might say that person was put there by people voting. The Most High Yah is the one in control of it all. So when it happens to this person that's in office now, he's a representation of the people and the spirit that's in the people in this country. And so now he's the judgment because you've seen what he's done. He's done so many things to lower the status of this country, of America, around the world. The way we're viewed is as tyrants now. He's destroyed a lot of the relationships that America had with their allies. And that was done on purpose to put us in a vulnerable state, to where in the Bible, it talks about how Babylon is destroyed. Babylon will be destroyed because their enemies, those that were first for them, shall rise up against her. So Babylon is getting ready to fall. And that guy, number 45, he's one of the main catalysts to bring about that revelation, right? So this is all on purpose. Now, this whole thing about the president, the elect or whatever, the guy that's coming in now, number 46, this is going to be socialism at its zenith. And it was always meant to be that way, right? So they have to get you to hate. They have to get you to hate how one administration is operating and organizing and orchestrating things in your country at first, so that you will do a 180-degree or full, complete 360-degree turn to the other side, right? So now you say, I don't want no more anything that Trump has to do with the Republicans. I don't want nothing to do with that, right? So now I'm going to start voting for the other side and accept what this other side tries to give me, even though both sides hate you and don't have nothing, they don't have your good, they don't have good intentions for you in the first place. You'll never receive anything from these people, because as you see in Congress, these people, they can't work with each other, but that's orchestrated because their goal is to kind of sort of pimp us, right? They want us to come to them for everything. We can't live without them. They can basically say, "Oh, here's your money. We'll take it." "Oh, no, no, we're not giving you nothing." And then we have to live with it, right? They can take all our jobs away, and then they can by putting a fake pandemic virus out here, and then they can say, "Okay, well, we're going to pass a stimulus," and everybody's waiting, and then they'll go on vacation. Then they'll say, "We're coming back." "No, I'll be back in a second." Just like a pimp. "I'll be back in a second. Don't worry about it. Don't worry, I had the money." Don't show up. Oh, you try to call them, they ain't answering the phone. I mean, it's like these people are just pimping their civilians, and they're doing it on purpose and making it seem like they're trying to work together, but it's all a game to them, because they're working for the fallen one, and he wants to put as much pain on these people and on us as possible. So he has his workers of iniquity that are getting power and money and prestige and all of these other things because of the way they're treating us. You understand what Judy J is saying? Because of the way that these leaders are treating us, they know, because they do work for the fallen one secretly, then they are getting power and getting prestige, getting fame and getting wealth, because they're doing a job for their leader, which is the fallen one. That's why it doesn't seem like nothing ever will get fixed, because it's not supposed to get fixed. They know how all of these millions and millions of people in America are feeling right now. They know, not just because of the records that show the job numbers going down or going up. They know because they have a spiritual contact with the fallen one. They know exactly what the people in the world, the spirit, the feelings that's going on with us. Do you understand how deep this thing is? These people don't operate based off of just tangible records that show them how things are going on with us. They feel it. They know it in their minds based off of this connection they have with the fallen one secretly, which gives them kind of a psychic type of abilities. I'm probably going to lose a whole bunch of viewers right now, but it's the absolute truth. You talk about targeted individuals and gang stalkers. Your leaders, your people in Congress that you view as your leaders and of these different parties, both sides have psychic abilities. Both sides have a connection with the fallen one, where they can be able to sense things in the spiritual realm. So they know what to do and what not to do and when to do it against us in order to work out their agenda, to get their agenda to go through. This thing is so deep. And as being a targeted individual, I know these things because of the way people move and their actions around me, and my times out there being around people that I knew hated me, but were speaking good things to me. But I sensed their spirit because of the discernment that I've gotten being a target individual. Being a target individual shows me the makeup of this world, the stuff that these people are comprised of in the spiritual realm. I know when people are not for me and they're for me because of the Most High Yah. All praise to him. I have no power without the Most High Yah. He's the vine, we are the branches, and we can do nothing without the Most High Yah. But I'm telling you, your leaders know things about you without even seeing you, without having any records before them. They can see you. They can see you when they meet you. Let's say one of your leaders was to meet you. You're learning stuff. You're learning. You really are. If your leader was to meet you in person, he would know things about you already, without any records given to him, without any briefings on you, without anything, because of a spiritual thing, right? Because of their connection with the fallen one and doing those practices in the dark, learning the things in the dark arts, doing the Kabbalah stuff, doing the astral projection stuff, doing all of these new age principles, which these leaders do in secret. Now, let me tell you something. Have you ever seen the video on YouTube where it talks about how they go up into the mountains or whatever in San Francisco, and they do these Illuminati type meetings or whatever, and they worship, they sacrifice things, and they're all there. All they don't show the Alex Jones video. I know you guys have seen. They don't show their face. They don't show their faces, but hear them clapping, and they're applauding when they talk about this whole dole care. The what is it? The cremation of care. Cremation of care is when they discuss during their little satanic meeting there. All the most powerful people in the world, they go there one time, I guess, out of the year, maybe more, because that's all we know about. And they discuss these things, what they're going to do to the world. They're the ones that have the position of power where they make the decisions, they make the laws, they decide how the society is run, right? And so they had this practice there called a cremation of care, right? It's this portion of their meeting, their satanic meeting, the Grove or whatever, where they discuss these things. So they discuss where they have a cremation of care, where they don't care about what their actions are towards the people, how much people perish, the pain people go through. They don't care about it. They get rid of their care at this whole ritual that they have in these woods in San Francisco once every year in the summer. And so then once they get rid of it, they do their little presentation on the stage. You got their wizards and warlocks dressed in this garb, these robes, and they're sacrificing things, people possibly, and animals, and doing all sorts of things. And they're discussing how it's like they're having a conversation with the fallen one, and they're discussing how basically they're not going to care about the pain that they cause the world. They're not going to care about it. They're getting rid of their care with this ritual they're doing, which gives them, after they leave this place, gives them the green light to go into their businesses and into their places of business, and put as much evil, create as much evil and chaos in the world as possible, and not care at all. So then when the people look at the news and they're saying, well, the number of homeless people has risen. The number of people that have no food and have no jobs has risen, and people don't know what to do. And they're looking towards their leaders in order to help them, in order to do something. These people, and you notice how nothing changes. These people could care less. Inside of their hearts and their minds is a numbness. And it's, yes, Judah Warrior. It's called the Bohemian Grove. And shalom, Judah Warrior, and shalom, Brian, and shalom, Miracle, and everyone else is watching that's not commenting. These people could care less because they feel as if good is evil and evil is good. Good is evil and evil is, and good is evil and evil is good. So they put them on the same level and they balance it out, right? They have to balance the good out with the evil and vice versa. And so they're not operating like a normal human being would operate, or some normal human being that doesn't follow these wicked satanic practices. We know that bad is bad. And regardless of what your moral compass is, you know that there's certain things that are bad, and you're not going to put bad on the same level as good and say, oh, I have a right to do this evil or this bad because all I have to do is balance it out by doing good. When we make mistakes as normal people in this world, we try to get away from those mistakes and not repeat them. And when we do repeat them, it must be a problem that we're dealing with, but we still have a sort of a guilt to it. And we don't say, oh, I can do this evil because, and it's on the same plane as good. So I have the right to do the evil. We don't, a lot of people don't, most people, I'd say not most people, not anymore, but a lot of people do not feel like when they do evil that it's something that they're supposed to be able to do. It's like it's right. These people don't care. These people they have no desire to put these two opposites in their proper perspective. Good is good. That's the way it's supposed to be. Evil is evil, and God will judge the wicked for the evil that they do. And they don't understand that because, and I'll when I go back to the cashless society part of this video, they are like the people in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, that do not have this ability to see the truth for what it is. They've been deceived to the place where they're just worldly beings. They accept the ways of a world that says to have greed, get all you can, nothing matters but what we can get. Basically, this life is the only life, YOLO, you only live once, so just don't worry about nothing, do what you can. And that's what they're trying to teach the world, to become an antichrist society where you do whatever you want to do without any ramifications, and then there you go. And then after you die, then you're just like a puff of smoke, and then that's it. But see, they don't understand that there's a judgment for our actions. And that's the wool that the fallen one has covered over their eyes, stopping them from being able to see this. That's why it's so sad to me. Yeah, they do a lot of evil to us on a never ending sort of seemingly basis. But when you think about where they're going to go and how it will be for an eternity, do you understand that eternity is not time? Eternity is not time. Time has an endpoint. In time, even when people that go to jail, there's a sentence, and then they serve their sentence, and then it's over, right? People that live life, you live life for a certain amount of time, and then your body, because you're in a body that's feeble, that will end unless you're here when Christ comes back, unless I'm here when Christ comes back, that body dies, it perishes. But see, eternity, there's no endpoint. So they're living their lives for a golden egg or some sort of temporary Esau type wealth where he ate the porridge, and then all of a sudden the porridge is gone, and he figures out, oh, I lost my birthright. Now he wants to destroy the world and destroy his brother Jacob because he gave his birthright away for some porridge. And the porridge, when you eat it or you drink it or you eat soup or whatever, it's done after a while. Yeah, you've quenched your thirst or your hunger for a short amount of time. But then after that's done, you have to deal with the ramifications, the thoughts, the feelings of loss. Now imagine if a person loses their soul and they know that after this existence is over, you have to go to a place forever that you do not want to be forever. You understand how sick they are? Do you understand that if they were to watch this video right now, which some of them probably are watching right now, they can't perceive it. They don't understand that forever is forever. And so you can do as much evil, you can try to do as much evil as you would desire to people. The Most High Yah is in control, though. But you might try to do as much evil to people. But he's writing everything you do down in the books in heaven. You think he's just a sky daddy, right? He's just somebody that the Most High Yah, Christ, is just someone that people use as a crutch because they don't like the way their world, their life is gone, and their life is not as good as someone else's life. You understand how, I'm not gonna say that. You understand how misinformed that perception is. You understand what that, I mean, I just, sometimes it just, yeah, we suffer for a moment. Life is for a moment. Life in the grand scheme of things is for a moment. You talk about a life that most people live, maybe it's, 70s, 80s, maybe even in their 90s. And then they have to go and live eternity somewhere because the soul does not die. And that's what they don't understand. Look, listen. You honestly think that people are just bodies? Are we just bodies? What makes us actually kind of our thoughts and how we gain our understanding of things and how we our personalities, who we are, who are the essence of us? Is that just flesh? I mean, you got these people with PhDs and I have a master's degree, but that don't mean nothing. I've learned education in this system means absolutely nothing. It was all a scam because the education they gave us does not teach us to be who we're supposed to be. We're limited because of the education they've given us, the education that I've received. We're all limited because it's not real education. It doesn't teach us the real things, those sincere things. It doesn't teach us the truth of who we are, of our world, of our God. It teaches us all these fake, false, foolish things that will perish and mean nothing. The wise think they're so wise, but they have only worldly wisdom. And after the life is over and they close their eyes for the last time, the worldly wisdom is gone along with them. Now there's only what? Judgment. There's only judgment after this life. And so those that are receiving all of this wealth and all of this stuff on this earth for doing evil to people in secret, perps, gang stalkers, you understand, man? You're not playing with us. You're playing with our God. And our God sees everything you're doing. And it's a sad thing because you don't know. You think you're seeing what people are doing with your phones. And you're texting your people, your friends on the other side while you're videotaping what people are doing, right? You've made a pact with people to do harm to other people. And you honestly think I have to balance the good with the evil. This person right here doesn't deserve this, doesn't deserve life. You are now a God. You are now a God. You say, oh, this person has all this time, this person has taken not getting it right and deceiving himself or herself. And this is, I'm talking from the place of thinking what gang stalkers and people that these workers of iniquity do in secret. This person doesn't have the right to have this or that because look at their life. Look at who they are. Oh, you're God now? You can determine what this person, what their worth is based off of what? Based off of your finite sinful self yourself. You yourself is full of sin. You yourself fall short. We all fall short. No one is better than anybody, but there are people that are chosen. Say that again. No one's better than anybody, but there are people that are chosen, and those chosen people, the Most High Yah's people, they've been dealt wrong, done wrong for far too long. And I'm not going to say far too long because it's not for me to say that. They've been done wrong for a very long time, but the Most High Yah is with them and with us. And he sees and he knows and he understands how he's going to get these people back, but they don't see it. And so when I'm on this channel, when I'm on this thing, I'm always trying to speak to both sides. Gentiles that was clean to Jacob, trust in the Most High Yah, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, his son Yahusha, for their sins, and then also the Israelites that are my people, the Negro. I speak to both of you because I don't want anyone, and this is real, to go burn in a lake of fire. I don't want anyone to burn in a lake of fire. I know that it's real. I know without no shadow of a doubt, there's no shadow of a doubt. I know that place is real. I'm not saying I've been nowhere and that weird stuff. I believe his word. I believe the Most High Yah's word. I believe that he left, he died, he rose, he was sent by the Father, he died for our sins, he rose, his blood saves us, he's coming back. I believe the Most High Yah has prepared a place that is so diabolical, that is so amazingly chaotic and horrible and horrific. I believe this place is there and it's being created for people that hate him, that do not know his son, and that do evil against his people on this earth, whether you are a Gentile that serves him or an Israelite. And these people, these workers of iniquity, that are receiving these wealths and getting the wool covered over their eyes by doing the evil and serving Satan and being his people out here, doing these wicked things in secret, going against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High Yah, which is the 10 Commandments, you will go there. You will go there, you will perish, you will burn forever. There will be no light, no peace, no joy. You won't see anybody else. You'll just be in your own private hell forever. And it's just what's going to happen. And Judah J is not causing it. And I'm not saying nothing about judging nobody. I'm better than somebody. No, forget all that stupidness. That's dumb. That's a dumb rationale to have for somebody that's trying to tell you to escape that place. You see your world, cashless society in New York. They're starting it now. The Bible talks about the cashless society. Been talking about it forever. It's in the Bible. And then all of a sudden now you're seeing traces of this whole thing coming up. They're only in New York, how they're saying businesses cannot stop people from businesses cannot stop people from purchasing things with cash anymore. There's going to be a lawsuit against them. Don't you know that's just a precursor for when they say, you know what? Actually, that did make sense. There should not be any cash because this coronavirus will get on it. Pandemic will get on it. And then all of a sudden we want to stop the spread. So let's get rid of cash. Now let's make it cryptocurrency. Let's make it cryptocurrency. Oh, you know what? Forget cryptocurrency. Let's put it in your body. Don't you know that that's how they always do things in steps? Started with cash, started with gold, went to cash, coins, went to the credit card and the card system, went to the scan system where you tap your card. right? Went to the chip. They told you a little bit about what they're planning, the chip, right? And then all of a sudden now it's going to go to cashless. But how did it get to cashless? They had to do something in the world to bring us to the place where we'd have to use a cashless society, or they would be able to make a rationale or an argument in favor of a cashless society with the vaccine, with the virus. Don't you understand? So you see what the Bible said about this, how the Bible discussed these things would happen, but you still don't believe. The people will be eating and drinking and marrying, and then the end shall come. Why is that? Why wouldn't they know that the end is coming based off of everything that's happening in the world around them? Because they're deceived. Because their world and the world they live in has been, it's like they have been deceived for so long where it's normal to them. It's like being numb. Could you imagine playing Grand Theft Auto? Remember Grand Theft Auto 3 when you first played it on the PlayStation 2, I think it was, and you're shooting people in the video game and you're getting prostitutes and beating them up in the car and stealing the car and flamethrowers, destroying people, and then the cut scenes where the mob bosses are cursing. Do you understand that game? I'm about to go back to these comments in a second. Just hold tight. Do you remember how this your mind, when you love the game, it was like, wow, this is an open world game and I can do anything I want and I can commit as much pain. And do you understand what that game did? It desensitized a whole generation of kids. Now the games are completely, even way beyond that. Grand Theft Auto 3 means nothing now compared to what they have out now. But you understand it starts from somewhere. Everything always starts from somewhere. And then it morphs into something way worse than you can ever imagine. But then because you're so used to it, because they trained us to be so used to these changes that they create, these evil agendas that they push before us every other year, every other month, underneath our noses that we don't see. And then all of a sudden it becomes commonplace where it's just like, oh, we're just used to that. We don't even think about it. This world is exceedingly wicked. And I'm going to tell you one thing, and I'm going to go to the comment section. You, not just you, but me, everybody, we better understand how close we are to the end. I really believe Judah J at this channel believes that the eschatology means the pattern and the way the Bible prophecy is going to play out, right? A lot of people think it's going to happen in different ways based off of their study, and that's fine. They're seeking wisdom, they're seeking knowledge, they're studying to be approved. And I'm not going to go and say that my way, what I think is right. One day I'll make a video on what I think my eschatology is based on what I think eschatology is based off of my studies. But what I think is, because of what I told you about how things progress and how we don't sense it and know it because it becomes commonplace because we're so used to it. We can't track the changes. We can't track when things are actually getting worse or better. I think the Bible prophecy is this world is closer to ending than we think. I think the thing about Christ coming at a time we don't know, that could happen at a time none of us know. And I think it's so close because, of course, the way you see things in the world, but I think it's going to play out like that so that the Most High will know who his true people are, because you can't lie. It's not something he's telling you to prepare in his word. He's telling you to prepare in his word, but people don't read his word. And so he's telling you to prepare. You can't sense what's going on out before you. You can't see just how extreme it is of having this last president. You can't see of how extreme it is, the weather anomalies. You can't see how extreme it is with all the fires and all these things going on, like just how things have changed, right? Right. And so this is a perfect time for Christ just come back, because only those that are truly worshiping him in spirit and truth will be taken to be with him, to be changed in a moment. To the dead shall rise first, and then those that live, that remain, shall go and be changed, right? And then those that are on the earth destruction. It's the perfect time. It seems like it will be a perfect time because we are looking in so many directions, and the wicked ones have our eyes going, our heads doing this. We don't see. They're listen. In the truth movement, there's people in the truth movement that are lying to you on purpose. They give you a little bit of truth and a little bit of lie, and they put it together. And what is it? It's the whole yin yang principle again. It shows you who is doing the whole yin yang, dark light, evil is good, good is evil. But they do it in such a way in which you can't see it, and they weave it, the message of good and evil, new age practices, practices from the Bible. They weave them together so seamlessly where it seems like this is of God. And then you have to use your discernment to be able to determine what is the truth in this, because something in the spirit of those that are truly the Most Highs, they sense that something's off. I know I do. I watch a lot of channels and I see they're talking a lot of good stuff. And I go in the Bible, it's right there. They're putting the scriptures up. They seem so learned and so astute. And then all of a sudden it's like, but something don't feel right. Now, I'm not saying when people are talking about eschatology and they're saying this is the way I think the pattern of things are going to go, right? Because we're all learning. And I really don't believe that any of us have it completely right. I really believe that. I don't believe I have it completely right. I don't believe many people have it completely right. I think the main thing for us to look at is the fact that our minds have been conditioned not to see the world in its true state. Let me say that again. Our minds have been conditioned not to see the world in its true state for what it is on purpose to determine who truly are the Most High Yah's people, the ones that will worship him in spirit and truth on a day-to-day basis. Those that will stay with him when nobody's watching. Those that will keep serving him regardless of what's going on around him. And they don't need they don't need anything to make them do it, just the Most High Yah. And they're really doing it. They're really living for him, spirit and truth. I mean, truly, like they're the real people. They don't get everything right, but they're the ones that go in their prayer closet and they feel when they do wrong. They know when they do wrong. I'm gonna get to these comments right after this. They know when they do wrong, and so they have this connection with God. I have to change. I got to turn this around, and they're not telling nobody that in their heart and in their mind. I know I do, and I'm not saying that. Oh yeah, Judah J is the man, and none of that. But I know when I do wrong, I have a sense of a need. You know, it's like a yearning to get back on track, to get right. I've done a lot of horrible things in my life. I'm just not I'm not the poster boy for this life, living this life. The Most High Yah has delivered me from so many things, and he keeps working with me. And I believe that he's made me, blessed me to be sort of a mouthpiece to give people hope and to lead them to him, right? But as far as this man right here has just been this perfect, no, not this guy. If it wasn't for the Most High Yah's mercy, his love, his joy, his forgiveness, his just winking at my stuff, there would be no Judah J. The Most High Yah's mercy, his love, I just owe it all to him. But back to what I was saying, when you do wrong, these people, they turn. They can't stay there. They don't feel like it's right for them to hurt their brethren, set their brethren up, try to get revenge on people. I can have a relationship with a woman or with a man or whatever, and then knowing it's going to be a sexual relationship, and then say God is okay with this and turn my mind, my head the other way, so to speak, and just let it go. No, they don't do that because they fear the Most High Yah, his judgment. Because listen, we're not promised life. And so because of that, if you are in sin, if you're in a certain sin, and it's a sin that it's hard to get away from, such as being in a relationship with a man or a woman in a relationship where they're living with you or something like that, or you guys are having sexual relationships and you're not married, and you're like, okay, well, I know this is wrong, but you just turn your head the other way, kind of, so to speak, and you say, I'm gonna keep doing it, and God understands. He does not understand. You are playing with fire. Your soul is in jeopardy, because he says in the Bible, he says, make sure, pray that you be found walking righteously before me when I come. This is paraphrasing, but you know what I'm talking about. Pray that you be found walking righteously when I come. And he said that for a reason, because first, you don't know when he's coming. And if you're walking unrighteously before him, are you really going to chance the fact that you might lose your salvation based off of this relationship you got, or this drug that you like to take, or you're stealing from people, or you're doing whatever sin it is that you know you are convicted about. You are convicted about these things in your heart and your mind. You should be at that place, especially in these times. We're like, I got to get away from all my sin. I got to get away from it. I got to work on it. I'm not just saying I got to work on it. Just don't work on it. I'm talking about in your heart, in your mind, you should be like, sins that I've been fallen to in my life, I got to get away from it. And I got to do whatever it takes because I see what time it is. I know that this Bible and this world is linking up. It looks like the Bible in the world now. And so you would say, okay, I got to get away from it to fall. I don't want sin. I don't want to be in that place with the workers of iniquity and all of the transgressors that will be there forever. I don't want to be there. So I'm going to turn around now. We all have to be making that trek to seeking him and really giving him our sins and turning our lives to him now. Now is the time. Now is the time. Let's read some comments. So blessings once again to everyone in the comment section. Miracle, Brian, Shalom. Let me see. Judah Warrior, Shalom, Mark. Here's what Judah Warrior said. Their kingdom is coming down soon, according to the book of Obadiah. Oh my gosh, praise the Most High God. Hey, listen, Mark. That book of Obadiah is so crucial when it talks about Edom and how this fall of this satanic Babylonian kingdom is going to fall, and how he's going to use the enemy, the once allies of Babylon to bring destruction to this place. It is amazing. Edom hasn't gotten away with anything. Now, I'm one of those people that does not believe that all white people are Edom. That's just, to me, that's a foolish mindset, because Esau went into different nations when he had sexual relations with different nations, Egyptians and all of these other different races that are on the earth, or nations that are on the earth. And a lot of people would say that white people are like sort of like maybe I don't want to go into that right now. All I'm going to say is they're not, every one of them is not Esau. We know that for sure that Esau are the Revelation 2:3929 people. We know that those people that are claiming to be us, that's Esau. We know that they are from that line, that bloodline of Esau. And so we can, in Obadiah, man, their destruction is coming. It is sure. It's going to be horrible, because they have taken the heritage of the Most High Yah's people. They have taken the heritage of this, and they're lying to the world about it. But see, here's the thing. The world is in on it with them. As we know from Psalms 83. The world is in a cabal. They're in cahoots with one another, trying to lie in order to keep us down from knowing who we are, so that we will not rise up, repent of our sins, turn back to our power, which is the Father Yah, in Yahushua Mashiach's name. And so that we won't be, the Most High Yah will not, they don't want him to take his curse off of us. But the curse was taken off. 400 years are over. 400 years started 1619 and it ended in 2019. And you would say, oh, well, how do you just say that? That just seems so, it seems so weak to say that, because everyone says that. And you're like, well, how do you really know Bible prophecy? It says your children shall go to a land their forefathers have not known. It shall be Egypt, and that it'll be just like Egypt, the place of bondage. Egypt means bondage. Your forefathers will not. You'll be hung. You'll be chained. You'll be the bottom. They'll lend to you. You won't be able to lend. Yokes of iron. Your children they'll be taken. You will not enjoy your children. What other people did that happen to? And it gets to a place where it's just common sense. That happened during the slave trade. That happened during the first Arab slave trade, which happened actually in the 1500s. But the reason why I say the 1619 thing, the transatlantic slave trade, is because this was the first time. Listen to what I'm saying, people. Listen to what I'm saying. The reason why I associate the transatlantic slave trade, and not that happened in 1619, and not the Arab slave trade, which our people also, the Negro, went into slavery, right? The reason, which happened in the 1500s, the reason why I associate the transatlantic slave trade to the time starting the 400 years is because our people were in that part of the world before. Our people were already on that side of the world before. We weren't brought to Americas until 1619. That's the reason why Judah J, me, this channel, believes that the 400-year captivity bondage of the Most High God's people started in 1619. And that's what you can do your research on, is because this was the only time, the only land mass that we came to that our forefathers had not been. Now, in the Arab slave trade, They were sold up to Europe. They were sold down in Africa. They were sold all over on that side of the world. But see, our forefathers had already been over there. Our forefathers had been on that side of the world. The Bible says you're in you shall be taken to a land that your forefathers had not known. We did not know America. So when we came over here, that's when it started. So you have the 400 years that's up. The Most High Yah has taken the curse off of his children. Now it's all about us learning about who we are, returning to serving him by obeying the law, statutes, and commandments. And then you will see the Most High Yah bring in, completely destroy this Babylon, this place of bondage, which he is doing now. And it's happening, excuse me, it's happening surely, slowly. It's happening, not even slowly now, it's sped up. Because the Most High Yah also said that I shall speed up the time for my elect's sake. The time shall the things happening in this time shall start to go by faster. That's why it seems like things are moving at an accelerated pace, because the Most High Yah is speeding it up. And check this out. How did the Most High Yah speed it up? Somebody write in the comment section what I'm going to say. How did the Most High Yah? And then I promise you, I'm just going to do nothing but do the comments. Someone write what they believe the Most High Yah sped up the time clock. I'm waiting. I'll just wait, because this is very important that you know this, because everything works together. Everything is working together, right? Does anybody know? If you want me to tell you, just push 1, because I don't see anybody that's responding. If you want me to tell you, just push 1. I'll wait. Okay, I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, No More Idolatry says Warp Speed Project. Yes, that's a part of it. That's a part of it, but more so than the Warp Speed Project is the one that enacted the Warp Speed Project, which is Trump. Trump was the one that sped up the time clock, because Trump, and you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. It's not basically so much what he did; it's what he represents. Say it again. Trump sped up the time clock of Bible prophecy, not based off of the things he did, but it was based off of who he was. That this person would actually be someone that would be put in the office. Now, you notice how I didn't say elected, because he wasn't elected. It was a predetermination. Of course, the Most High Yah was, in the end, he's the one that allows leaders to be leaders. But Trump was a mirror. Trump mirrored who the people were. And so the Most High Yah is saying, look, this is who you are, and this is why you will be judged. In this man is everything wrong with you. And so you talk about a person that tries to play people against one another. He tries to plot races against each other so that they will turn on one another and hate each other and want to destroy one another, right? And then he'll come and he'll like a child. It said, you know what? I'm going to associate this scripture, but it doesn't really. It's not in context, because this scripture applies to the children of Israel and how when they in the last days, their children shall rule over them. But in this way, Trump is like a child that rules over the people, because children act like Trump. You understand what I'm saying? Children act like this man. When he gets mad, he goes on Twitter and he tells people that he starts to come against them and say they're this, and makes names on them, says names and yells at people and lies and talks in inhumane, unsuitable for people in office type of ways. Talks about grabbing people by their private parts and calling people stupid and saying they got to get out of here and they're thugs and you know, they come from S-hole countries and all of these things. And the people that voted for him, the people that stand by him, they actually don't have anything to say about it. There's no pushback against him from them. And even though they may like the dude, they're like, this is my dude. This is who I voted for. When he does certain things, you're like, nah, you can't operate like that, man. Presidents don't operate like that. Who is, are you, is anybody seeing this? It's like, they're his people that did vote for him. They feel like he does nothing wrong, which means that they're sort of like in a trance. Like they're sort of, it's like, are they even real people? Because even if he's done things you like and you vote for him, it comes to a place where you're like, man, look, this dude is just wrong. We've all said that to our friends at some point too. Our friends did something that was wrong to somebody else. You're like, bro, look, man, you my dude or you're my girl or whatever, but you just wrong there. You got to make up for that. You gotta do right by that, you know? But these people don't do that. Why? Because now people's minds and who people are now being determined by the Most High Yah. He is determining who are his and who are not, who's going to be lost and who's going to make it. So these people that have these reprobate minds that cannot see the evil that's all around them, can't see that people are being oppressed, can't see that people have been being oppressed for years, hundreds of years, thousands of years, can't see these things, don't care, as long as they can get what they want, as long as they can keep their supremacy, as long as they can keep their position in the world as being the top, right? It doesn't matter what someone goes through. That's what the Most High Yah is showing us through Trump. He is you. I'm not saying you guys, but he represents this nation. And so now, because they've seen themselves, and check this out. What's the second reason why Babylon's going to perish? I'll just tell you, because I'm not going to be on here much longer. I got to end the broadcast. But the second reason is because they voted for him again with greater numbers. So they doubled down on the judgment that's coming, I believe. They said, okay, we see this guy. They made this whole agenda up about this whole QAnon. I know you know that, with that QAnon where Trump is supposed to be somebody that's holding back trying to reveal the evils that are going on from the liberals and all of these people that are on the left side, the Democrats and all of these highfalutin type educators that are, liberals. And he's saying that they do things evil to small ones, and you know what I mean, and that they're trying to bring in socialism and destroy the world by doing this in satanic type of cabals and secret societies, when they're all a part of it, right? But they're trying to say that he's saving the world from the evil that's trying to destroy America. All of these weird excuses they're using just to try to justify the whole WS supremacy, the W supremacy. That's all that is. It doesn't mean, it's just so, come on, bro. People understand these things. It's not like hard to understand. It's all about, you want to completely sustain your position of power in this country because you believe that you are better than everyone. And you have always believed that. And I'm not talking about everyone of a specific race. And you know the race I'm talking about. I'm not talking about every one of people in that race, because not everyone is evil. Not everyone is bad. Not everyone is out to get you. Not everyone of any race. But the majority of people in most races are not of the good. They're not good stock no more, because that spirit is in this world, Satan's spirit. But anyways, that's the reason why they want to continue this type. They look the other way when they see a person like this operating in power, doing these wicked things to people, and at every turn, and so blatantly, because they want to continue to keep their stature, their position of power in the world. They cannot stand the fact that the slave, quote unquote, the Negro scattered to the four corners of the earth, my people, they can't fathom the fact that we are truly the children of Israel, because they know that message. They know it. They've always known. A lot of them have always known it. And I'm not just, when I say a lot of them, I'm not just talking about people that look like number 45. I'm talking about the whole world. I mean, this thing is so obvious now. They know, but they just don't. It's like they're looking the other way. Like that one girl, the example I gave you of the man and the woman that are in a relationship, and they know they're not supposed to be having sex because they're not married. We've all done it. I have done it. You've done it. But then you try to turn. You have a relationship with God, in a way. But then you turn your head, not trying. It's like you're not trying to see what you're doing as you're doing it, thinking God's just not going to care. No. These people they know who we are, but they don't want to face the facts, and they want to keep this thing going as long as possible. That's all it is. They understand they're wrong. They know the one they're supporting, the people they're supporting on both sides. They know that these people are not doing nothing that's good for us, that they're operating in nefarious, wicked ways in the background. They keep getting elected and nothing changes. It only gets worse. They keep voting for these people. Why hasn't anybody come up to try to just change everything and then not vote for these people and to say, you know what, we're not voting for any of you anymore. We're going to take over the country. This is not the way it's supposed to be, and it's not going to be this way. But if it was actually on the level, if it was actually like a real type of um, um, a real type of angst that people have, or like, okay, I have a real beef with this person and I just want change because I want things to be better for everyone, not just for myself, but for everyone. If that's the way it was, then we wouldn't have these type of leaders, because none of these parties are for both, or for all the people. One party is for racist. One party is for liberals that want to do whatever they want and live as demonic and evil as they possibly can. And once again, I'm not saying everyone from both parties acts like that, but that's the way these different parties have been structured. On the right, you're supposedly for God, and you're for family, and you're for these different mantras, these different little platitudes, these different like type of stamps that they place on these parties, which are just orchestrated just to trick the people. The left right paradigm to draw people into this lie. You be on this side, you stand for this, you stand for this. None of them stand for anything that's righteous. Both sides are serving Satan. Both sides are serving the fallen one and taking oaths and working to go against the Most High Yah's law, statutes, commandments. But that doesn't matter. They have these different platitudes, these different mission statements for both sides, and the people see it. And they're like, I want to be on that side. I want to be on that side. So then you get on this side, and then you start to judge the other side because they're not basically they don't care about you, what you're doing and what you believe. The other side believes the same way. But then then they both get this whole sense of self, like holiness, self-righteousness, like my way is the right way. And then the other side says my way is the right way. But then when you both look at their leaders and the way that the things their parties do, how are you going to say that your way is the right way? On the right side, which is supposed to be the side for God, you got racists over there creating laws to basically disenfranchise black people, and not just African Americans, Israelites, but they do it for other people, Mexicans, and everybody else that comes into this country, right? It's like you are on this level. It's like a caste system. You're on this level, and we'll put you in the ghettos, and we'll make it so you can't get loans, and we'll make it so you can't live in certain neighborhoods. You can't do what these other people can do, right? That's on the right side. And if you come against us, we have this veil of this worship of we worship God, and we serve God, and we love Christ and all this stuff. And so you're deceiving yourselves. You're deceiving others and you're deceiving yourselves. And then you hold the Bible in your hand. Because you hold that Bible, you can pretty much erase racism, erase destroying and killing black people, and kidnapping people, and just all these things, right? Right. And then you go on the left side, and they're the Democrats. They're for abortion. They're for homosexuality. They're for all of these science and being an atheist, and we don't have to have God, and then you vote for them. Don't you understand where I'm coming from? Don't you see? It's all a lie. It's all been set up to cause you to choose a side so that you can experience the judgment of these people's actions that put these laws in the world, in your country. They create the laws, you voted for them. So the chaos that it causes, don't you kind of feel like it falls on you? Are you your brother's keeper? Did you vote for this person that made this law that that hurt millions of people? Didn't you vote for that candidate that decided to do abortion? Didn't you vote for that candidate that supports abortion? So now you're hurting millions and millions of little ones, and you say, oh well, we're black, and so we need to vote for that side because they'll do better for us in that side. But didn't you have a president that looked like you in the office, and did he do anything for you? No. He did a lot of stuff for people that are homosexuals and transsexuals, but did he do anything for people like you and me? Or did he? No. So let's read some comments. Let me see. Okay. The big 13601, children of ancient Bantu ancestor father Abraham, awaken yourself. It's in the spiritual energy. Unplug from the Western matrix. Walk in the light of the spirituality. Okay, so y'all bless you, the big 13601. Only thing that I would say with this comment is when I look at this word energy, this is just me. I just was thinking about that word energy and how it was linked to a new age practices. They're always like energy. It's like, when did the word spirit turn to energy? It's like it happened somewhere about 5 to 10 years ago, maybe 5, 7 years ago, where now everybody's talking about this energy. And I just want you to know that the whole energy thing is a new age type word. Of course it's a word, but it's being more prevalent. And when you talk about things of the spirit, lately in the last 5 to 7 years. So this whole energy thing, gaining energy, that is a new age type of word in the lexicon, is being used in context to new age principles and practices. And that's something that I stay away from doing. When I see it, I just kind of like, oh, they mean the spirit. But because we are engulfed in a spiritual reality, right? Spirits all around, right? The holy angels are watching us. You've heard about the watchers. The holy angels are watching us. You have Satan's kingdom in the spiritual realm that are watching us to see if they can catch us and make us slip and fall. Spirits are around, right? We have the Most High is a spirit, right? And when you talk about energy, that's something that comes from more of a new age type evaluation of things that are unseen. I'll say it again. Energy is like a new age term. It's like an evaluation of a spiritual realm, of things that are not seen in the spiritual realm. So it's been put into place. And when you say energy, when you break it up, energy. So let's say inner, INNER, and then G. What does that stand for to me? To me, they're saying inner God. And that's inner God, energy, inner God. And that would seem like a slick way for them to, and I'm not talking about you, that's a slick way for people to push words upon you that are damning, that have alternate meanings. There's a connotative meaning behind it. There's many different ways to perceive it, right? It's not literal. It's sort of a word that is packed with alternate meanings. And if you don't really see it for what it is in the context, then you could be getting ingratiated or getting indoctrinated into different practices that you don't want anything to deal with. But as far as you saying, let me see, this whole spirituality, walking the light of his spirituality, I just say spirit, honestly. I'm sorry for breaking up your words. Because I'm a target individual, you got to understand, everything around me I have to observe, and I have to be on top of it, is like kind of really seeing things and trying to break them apart, because I know I'm not calling you the big 13601. Blessings to you, Ak. Y'all bless you. And this is just the way Judah J is. And I do this all the time. So when I see certain words, I kind of, okay, I'm gonna kind of check that out, because I have to watch for my viewers and also for myself. So you could mean nothing bad by what you said. And I know you did not. It means nothing bad. What you said means nothing bad. But certain words is that I still kind of like have to check out, because I know that it's easy for a person to slip new age type philosophies and mindsets into this comment section. And I don't want to be influenced by it, and I don't want anybody else to be influenced by it. But as far as, yes, we do need to unplug from this matrix, because this matrix is a lie. The matrix actually means life, or the womb. That's what matrix come from. Do your study. The matrix means the womb. And so we come from out of the womb, out of the matrix, into this sort of new matrix, which is this false reality that we live in. Because in this reality, you don't serve the Most High Yah. It's like the above is, that's another new age principle, new age practice. That's why this whole Matrix movie was made. As above, so below, right? So basically, it's that as above, so below is nothing but yin yang, dark light. It's an alternate sort of reality, right? And so when you come and you talk about the Matrix, you're coming in and you're coming into this false reality that's not real, but it seems real to you, but it's not the real life. And then once you understand that there's things going on that are outside of what truth is, once you learn what that truth is by taking, so to speak, those red and blue pills or whatever, you took the red pill, and then all of a sudden now your eyes are open to what the truth is. Then since you understand the Matrix will turn, the world will turn against you, because you do understand that this thing that you are engulfed in, this reality, this experience is not right. It's not correct. So then they turn against you. So now this whole experience is a false reality, false type of reality. That's where the inspiration from that movie was, to show you where you are, to show you where you are in a false reality. And then when you break that whole matrix, when you break it, when you understand it for what it is, then you'll have opposition. And then the Most High Yah said, the world will hate you. Those that love me, the world will hate you. You will be hated. Let me see. This character. Let me see. Y'all bless you. No more idolatry. System is mental programming. And Judah Warrior, education in this system is mental programming against the Most High. It was designed to be that way, because everything in this system had to direct the minds of all the nations away from acknowledging the children of Israel as being the children of Israel. That's at the crux of it all. At the crux of it all. You can get more in depth with it. You can get more philosophical. You can do whatever you want. The crux of this thing right here, the education system, was just to trick the world, those that don't know, those that did not know that the children of Israel were the Negro. It was to completely trick them, their minds, into believing this lie that these people cannot be of the Most High Yah God, and we have to put these people and keep them down, even without telling them. They were shown. Listen, the other nations were shown to keep the children of Israel down their whole lives without even knowing it, through watching television shows. On television shows, you see the state of the Israelite that's always so destitute and so lower than everyone else, always in the projects, always in the ghetto, always going over to the person's house, eating food, not having food at their own house, not being able to experience life in the world in ways other nations of people on television were experiencing it, right? So we were being indoctrinated into this whole lie that the Israelites were not the true people. And then all of a sudden you say, oh, well, there's no God. Okay, well, if there's no God, then you're going to disassociate these people as being real in the first place. And it doesn't even matter if you are a person that's an atheist that doesn't believe in God and doesn't believe even that these fake ones, the Revelation 2939 people, it doesn't matter if there's a group of people that don't believe that they're the people. They don't care about that, as long as some of them do. But as long as the majority of the people in the world believe those fake ones are the real ones, they're good with that. But everyone, they don't care if everyone believes they are. It's all about the fact that we have to stop you from believing that these real ones, the Negro, are the children of Israel. And we have to, in every part of life, in every part of our society, entertainment, sports, education, just in every business, everything, every part of our society has to be tricked to believe that these people are not the children of Israel. And so that was what it was all about in the first place. Everything that is about deception, every war that was created, everything is about the children of Israel. Every war, World War I, World War II, and coming in the last war, of course, the War of Armageddon, when Christ pleads for his people for the world to let them go, right? For the captors to let us go. Everything has always been about the children of Israel, either concealing the identity of the children of Israel, or the Most High Yah releasing the children of Israel from bondage. Everything was all about creating society to be godless, so people would lose their faith in God and then disassociate from the Bible. Let me say that again, because that's good. Everything was always about, as far as the leaders are concerned, those that create the education, Judah Warrior, those that create the education system, the reason why it all goes back to Israel, the Israelites being the Negro, and the ones that they're trying to hide the truth from them being the children of Israel, is because when their goal was to stop, to change education, change everything in the world that we see, and make it all a lie. Everything's a lie. The way the world looks, it's not a globe. I don't know if it's flat, but the Bible does not say it's a globe. The sun and the moon are above the earth, and they're not. And the sun's not 93 million miles away, and the moon is not some planet we can go to. The moon is a light. The sun and the sun is the greater light, and they move over the earth like this, and they go through portals. Yes, there are portals. Read the book of Enoch. And then and the light that shines on the earth is because, and the moon is above the earth because the earth is the only game in town. The only planet that exists is the earth. All of the other so-called planets are lights. So it talks about it in the book of Enoch. Go read the book of Enoch, and you'll see all these things I'm saying. But the reason why they changed it all is because if you have a knowledge, understanding that God is real, if you know that the world is not moving all over the cosmos, so to speak, cosmos, there's no cosmos. If you know that the world is not just moving out of control, spinning around out of control, going in the universe, and that there's some order to it and structure, and that someone has to have some intelligence in order to run this thing. If there is someone that's above this and controlling it all, then you'll believe in God. And then if you believe in God, guess what God you're going to study? You're going to study the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then once you study the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, guess what you're going to learn after that? Who his people are. And then once you learn who his people are, you're going to say, okay, well, who are these people? Does it make sense now? You're going to say, who are these people? Oh, these people, those people are saying that they're the children of Israel. In 1948, it says they would come back to their land. Let's read in the Bible. Does it say? Oh, it doesn't say nothing about that. It says when the children of Israel come back to their land, Christ will bring them back to their land. Did Christ bring these people back to the land? Is Christ ruling in the land now? Where's the ships of Tarshish? Let me see. None of this stuff applies to these people. So, okay. So you're saying that the world is not the way it looks. These pictures that they're showing me of the world is fake. You're saying that the sun is right above and the moon are right just directly above the earth, which means that the earth must be very, very important and might be the central game in town, the only game in town. Oh, why is this book? Okay, you're saying that the other planets aren't planets, they're lights. They're not planets at all, they're lights. Oh, so did they really go to the moon? Oh, the moon's not a hard surface because the moon has to be a hard surface, right? Because you have to you can't land on a light, right? Oh, it's not a hard surface. So did they go? This is getting really interesting now. Oh, when I look out and I look at the horizon, and hey, look, I'm just telling you guys, man, this stuff is so weird. It's the truth. It's just so. You look out to the horizon, I think it's like, yeah, that amount of miles, 6 miles. I'm not gonna say that last night. I can say it again because that's yeah. Trust me, that's that evil stuff. Look, so you go out and you look at that distance, the miles out there, and there's no curvature. It just seems like it's like this. It's like after that certain amount of miles, and you look out in the horizon where the water is, and you look at the buildings that are way out there, that certain amount of miles out there, because at that certain amount of miles, it should be where you see a dip, where the buildings that are at that distance, it's like curving. It's like you see a curvature, right? Or it'll start to get lower or lower because you see this curvature. If the earth is round and you have that distance and you look out in the horizon, right, then it should be some sort of curvature. No curvature. Everything is just like this, just completely straight across. You're seeing out miles and miles way out into the ocean. I mean, these people are so weird. And then the sun is 93 million miles away, but you still see the sun reflecting off of the ocean. That's just not possible. That's too far. Oh, these are how do check this out. How do we see this? How do we see these other different? We say these are planets out there, right? So these are planets out there, right? But they're shining their light, and we see their lights through our pair or telescopes. So I thought these planets didn't shine their own light, didn't have a light that they shined. Think about it. You see these lights, these planets out there, these telescopes, and you're seeing these different colors, and you're like, whoa, that's a planet. But I thought planets don't shine lights. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Planets. Oh, then they say, oh, the rationale for that is that the sun is so huge that it's shining, it's reflecting the sunlight off of the planet. So the sun is basically its sunlight, its rays are just reflecting that planet. So we're seeing that planet based off of the sunlight, the sun reflecting, right? That planet to us. That makes no sense at all. It just doesn't make any sense. Not at all. Right? Right? So you have all of these things, all of these different lies from the workers of iniquity that they have taught us. And you'll say, okay, individually, each lie, each agenda in itself, right, is of its own thing, right? So if it's just a lie about there not being real planets, then that's just them. That's just one type of lie for the reason of trying to deceive us about the solar system, or that there is a solar system. They're trying to lie and teach us there's a solar system when there really isn't, or there is, or whatever it is, right? Or they're talking about the whole moon landing. Is it really possible? And they lied to us. Let's say people believe they lied to us, and we'll say, okay, well, this is just about the moon. The moon landing is a lie. Okay, whatever. But then you would never associate all these things to a people. All of it's associated to the children of Israel and the knowledge of who God is. And if you don't believe that there's a God, then you'll believe all of these things. And this is subconsciously, because that's what they want you to believe, that there is no structure in your creation, in creation. There's nothing, there's no intelligent force that's behind making these things that we see. It says in the Bible, we can see God in everything, right? It's paraphrasing. We can see God in, that's paraphrasing. We can see God in everything, right? In nature. Who else made this? It's not possible. It's not possible at all. So the whole goal is to make us not believe God exists. And if you don't believe God exists, you don't believe his people exist. And if you don't believe his people exist and that you're just living, that you can just treat these people any way that you want, Satan got you under his control, because people will be judged by how they treat his people. He's the master that left the vineyard, and he left for a while, and then all of a sudden that other master, the other person that was put in charge to be the shepherd of the sheep, he went and just started destroying the sheep, right? Destroying them, right? And then all of a sudden the master came back, and you basically slaughtered everything. You destroyed everything, right? You destroyed everything. And then he sent his son, and you tried to destroy, and you destroyed him too, or you killed him too, right? And then you don't actually think that he is going to come back when he comes back and destroy those that destroyed his people, that did evils to his people. It's just a setup. It's all a setup, and it happens out of nowhere. The end happens out of nowhere. It's gonna happen at a time we don't know. Okay, let me see. I'm about to end it. I know the cashless society. Judah J, I get off on these tangents, and I can't believe it sometimes how my mind just goes, and I just go off on these different topics, and it's just like boom, boom, boom. I am so sorry. Trust me, I don't do that in real life, right? Maybe I do, but it's something that I have to deeply work on, because I really believe that I could do this thing a lot better. I hope you like the information that you received. I believe that I got it. Most High Yah speaking through me, give me revelation on what to say. I don't say that haphazardly. I don't say that just to say it. I believe that he inspires me to say these things. I really pay attention to what I say so that I'm not, making sure I'm not leading anybody in the wrong way. But as far as staying on topic, that's something that I've had a problem with, in my life. And so structure is something that I'm asking the Most High Yah, as far as with my thoughts, to be able to stay on topic and to be able to kind of condense things and to make it kind of be in a good package. So these videos cannot be as long as they are. So, just bear with me. Things will get better. I've been saying that for a while, but you watch one day, because I'm thinking about it. And that goes for another thing. The wise learned from their mistakes, and I seek to be a wise man. And I'm not saying I'm all wise and all that, but I have wisdom. I've been given wisdom by the Most High, but I want to be more wise in how I communicate with people, because I want to be able to influence people. And the way you do that is you have to be able to communicate with them in a way in which they can understand, for one, but you have to do it in a certain style, in a manner in which people will take the information and not be worn out by, because I just and this is a cathartic exercise I'm doing right now, right? Because you have to see your flaws so that you can see them and get better. You can't, and that's how people change, and they start to rise from going to different places, because they see their errors and they make corrections. And so, to end this thing, cashless society, I didn't go too much into it. That shouldn't have been the title of the story of this video, maybe at the beginning, but we've gone many different places. But the cashless society is being created as we speak right now in New York. They are basically saying that they're bringing lawsuits against businesses that will not allow people to use money. And so they actually won the lawsuit. So now the businesses have to actually accept money, paper money, from people, and change from people at their places of business, and they can't use the fact that this corona pandemic or whatever is the reason why they're not accepting the money. I'm telling you, at the beginning of this video, I was telling you the reason why we are all the reason why they did this is because they're preparing the world for this cashless society, and they're doing it in ways like this, in steps. This is the beginning. So this just happened. Now the conversation will start to happen all over the world, where maybe they'll say, maybe this is the best way in order for us to start this whole new way of economics, this new platform, in order to be able to buy and sell and trade with one another, not through paper anymore, but maybe through another system. And that other system, I believe, will be one where people will be people themselves, their physical records, who they are, how valuable to society or to that place they are, to the nation they are, based off of maybe their criminal records, based off of their allegiance to a certain ideology, of course, leading to the ultimate mark of the beast, where it'll be your allegiance to the fallen one, right? Or to your denial of Christ. That will be the final, I believe, progression of the mark of the beast. But I think it's all coming into play now, because they're getting rid of the cash. And once they get rid of that cash, then everyone will be in the same sort of condition, where you can't buy or sell if you don't have some sort of physical currency or spiritual currency, or something that connects to this system in a way that cannot be. You can't hide. You can't hide that you have something. You can't, like, what I mean by that is, you can't fake money. You can't give them fake money. You can't borrow some money from someone else in order to support yourself or sustain yourself. It's going to have to be something that is associated to each individual person. And if that individual person doesn't have that sort of monetary stamp, right? With that stamp, which is maybe through a vaccine, maybe it's through some physical mark on the hand, some sort of chip, maybe something. But we're moving into that time where you're going to have to align yourself with the agenda of this fallen world in order to be able to navigate through the world and to be able to operate in the way in which you have always operated. If you can't do it, if you do not decide to follow the ways of this world, there shall be a payment for it. There shall be hard times. There shall be hard decisions that need to be made nowadays. Either you're going to serve the Most High Yah and trust Christ as your Savior and go through the hard times, or you're not. That goes for you, me, everyone. So once again, go look at this story. I'll put right here. Let me see. New York. Hold on one second. New York. New York Cashless Society. Okay. So you go here, and I'll put the link right in the comment section. And you can go look at it for yourself. Shalom. I mean, Salakia. So right there, you can look at that right there. And that will show you the website, which shows New York, how they are now banning the cashless stores, because stores were actually stopping people from using cash, saying that they're afraid of the coronavirus being on the cash and spreading this whole fake pandemic to everybody. And so then I guess they made an injunction, a court order saying that the businesses couldn't do that. But we all know that that's just a precursor for what they're going to do. They're just preparing the people now to know what's going to happen in the near future, where they completely make it a cash society. More businesses, more states are going to start to fall in line saying, you know what, we know that New York, they passed an injunction saying they couldn't ban stores from not accepting cash. But you know what, maybe that is the best way to go. These numbers are really getting higher and higher. They already said that in the next couple of months that it's going to get worse and worse. And the numbers are going to go way up. People are going to be perishing at a clip that's like 2,000 a month, not numbers of people positive, but 2,000 people perishing a month from this thing, right? So it doesn't seem too far-fetched to believe that because of these numbers going up, they might all across the country say, let's make a cashless society. We have to do everything we can in order to protect these people. Lie, right? Pause, lie, right? But we have to do everything we can to protect these people. So let's just make everything cashless. Let's just go cashless. And once that happens, they'll say, oh, there's people that are afraid about they'll have polls. They'll have some polls they'll use to say, do you think we should have a cashless society? You heard it here first. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything, but you heard it here. They're going to have polls pretty soon. Once the coronavirus please, everybody in here, push a 1. You're hearing something real good right here. Everybody push a 1. If you're still there, push a 1. Check out what's about to happen. This is what just came to me. This whole thing with corona, right? Because of the numbers that they're generating, saying it's going up. I told you that this pandemic was nothing but seasonal. It's a seasonal thing. It's nothing but the flu, or it's nothing but a cold. Their instruments, their detection instruments to test and see if somebody has this pandemic is fake, right? What it is it tests for a depleted immune system. And if you have a cold or a flu, it tests and says that you're positive with coronavirus when there is no coronavirus. But people will now, because of the positive test, be scared, so scared they'll take the vaccine. And I'm telling you, they may even pay for people in the future to take the vaccine. I really believe that people are right now, it says 58% of the people they will take the vaccine. But right now, that's not the number that they need. They need about 75% of the people to take the vaccine. I really believe that in order to get the numbers up, they're going to start paying people. If you hear about them paying people to take the vaccine for the greater good, quote unquote, they want to do it for the greater good. And you know what? People need the money anyway. So we're just going to give them the vaccine and pay them. I don't know how much to pay them, right? I don't know how much they'll pay them, but I believe it's going to come. And then all of a sudden, there might be a thing where they say they're going to do a poll, a world poll, or in the different states. Should we have a cashless society? What do you guys think about that? With all of this stuff going on with Corona, all of this fear, and it spreads so fast, and we see these numbers, and people are dying in droves. And should we have a cashless society instead of the economic system we have now with paper? Isn't it? Let's have a poll. Be on CNN or something. One second. Be on CNN or something where they do a poll, and then all of a sudden they say, okay, well, we're going to have a cashless society now because the people wanted it. The people wanted. One second. The people wanted a cashless society. So it's not on us anymore. It's on the fact that the people wanted it. You get it? So they're going to basically put it on us, or the people that decide to take this thing, and they'll say, well, we didn't do it. You made your own choice. You made your own choice to take this thing, to change the society to be cashless. You voted for it. We didn't just put it on you. The people will institute all of these things willingly. They'll give up their freedoms willingly, because that's the way they create the situation, the bad thing that happens, Hegelian dialect, and then they bring the solution, problem, reaction, solution, right? So then they expect the people to give away their freedoms by making things so bad, and then they come in and say, don't you want things to be better? Don't you want to go back to work? Don't you want to go to the bar? Don't you want to go to the football game? Don't you want to not have a mask on and be able to go to Thanksgiving dinner? Don't you want Christmas? Don't you want all these things? Okay, well, you got to play ball. There can't be any more not wearing a mask. There can't be any more not taking a test. There can't be any more not taking this vaccine. You got to play ball. So basically, that's what they're going to do. And they're going to take a poll. And then people are going to say, you know what? Yeah, we want to go back, and we want to get our lives back. And we're sick of the way things are going. We're just going to take this. We're just going to do this thing. They're going to take the vaccine, take the test, and just whatever. Just get out of my face. Let me go to the bar. Let me go back to work. I don't have any money. Blah, 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 blah. That is what's happening. That is what will happen. I believe that's what's going to happen. Polls coming. I'm just saying, I really believe it's going to happen. The polling people about should there be a cashless society, and then all of a sudden they'll start having their actors and all of their people in Hollywood and all of these people, right? They'll be supporting it. You'll see it on Saturday Night Live. They'll do sketches about people maybe coughing on money, and then all of a sudden people getting sick and saying, you know what, maybe we shouldn't have any money. Something stupid on that low level, right? Like Saturday Night Live, something, a show that you watch all the time. They'll make references, trying to get you to invite the idea of not having a cash society. Just like they did with Corona, trying to get you, even on the basic levels, right? In comedy shows, on not talk shows, on just in sports, trying to get you aware of this coronavirus and the fact that it's very deadly, and that you have to take this test, and you have to be ready to wear the mask and 6 feet and take this vaccine. And we're waiting for the vaccine so we can get back to our lives. They're doing it all on their media everywhere to condition us to be accepting of it. That's what it is. And once they put that stuff in the people, then the real happens. Because newsflash, for one, that vaccine they give is not going to be the same for everybody. Remember that one. That vaccine is going to be different for different people. Who gives the vaccine? People that are sold out to this system. People that are not of the Most High Yah, that do things for contracts, for money. People that are working in nefarious ways against the people that you don't know, because they're seen as the people that care about you. They're seen as the smart ones that know what they're talking about. So people allow them to gain foothold. People allow these crooks, these deceivers. I'm not calling every doctor. It's not about everybody. It's about having enough of their people in these businesses, in these places that we go every day and do our business. It's about having enough of them in there to be able to profligate the lie, to keep the lie going. So all of them can't be of the lie, because if they did, just like the whole balance thing that they do, it will be too obvious. It's a spirit that's let out there. When someone's lying to you, everyone's lying to you, you can sense it. You can sense it so easily, even if they're trying to be deceptive. If everything is just a blatant lie, then it's easier to detect it, and it's easier to see what it is. But if everyone's not lying to you, if everyone is, if there's some good people, if there's some truth in there, now what's been said is more believable, because you can weave around the two. You can weave the two together in order to make it into this thing that's more believable, and that people's minds can kind of like associate with the truth, because it has elements of something that could be true or false. But now it's like it's more plausible. It's a more plausible story, because it's not all on one end. If somebody's telling you nothing but good all the time, good, 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 good. Now, unless you know that person and know of their works and their fruits, you can't just trust everything somebody says, right? Unless you know of their fruits. Now, at this channel, I try to say, the same, stay on message at the same time. The Most High Yah is the Savior, is the Father, our Father, and that the Yahushua Mashiach is our Savior. He died for us at Calvary. His blood washes us. I'm an Israelite. The Israelites were put into bondage, brought over to the land our forefathers did not know, and that once we depart from our sins and return back to Him and start to cry out to Him and start to depart from this system, this Babylonian system, and depart from being separate, we'll be brought back to our land. I believe that we have to obey the law, statutes, and commandments. I believe that that there's repentance for all people, for Gentiles that will cling to Jacob, and also Israelites. I also do not believe in the things of this world, such as the homosexuality. I'm against all of that. I'm against all of the abortion. I'm against all of these things, right? These holidays. I'm against the eating of the wrong foods. I'm someone that believes that you have to obey, that you should observe the holy days. I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't observe all the holy days. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not a perfect person. Sometimes on the Sabbath day, I don't observe the Sabbath day. I go back and repent, and then I would observe the Sabbath day. And it's like, this is who I am, right? And so this is how I try to portray and be in the direction that I'm going. And so my channel reflects this. And so what I'm saying, though, there's people that that's how you in a way would know me, is what I'm saying. So if there's people out there that you don't know, that you can't look at their track record on, like, you can't see what their fruits really are. And so then they're saying these good things to you, good, 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 and it don't feel right still, because it just seems maybe it's too good. And it's like, there's no track record. I don't know who you are. There's no body of work. And just like the bad side, they're saying nothing but bad, 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 or evil, right? And they're lying to you. You'll be able to detect it. You'll be able to detect these things. But if they mesh the lie and the truth together, and they do it very sneakily, like, then it basically appeals to both sides of your ability to understand. Kind of like, you start to you look at it and you kind of perceive it. You're like, okay, well, I can see that. I can see that. And so this must be a person that's coming to me in truth, in a way. And if they're not, and they make a mistake and they're kind of off, at least I can identify with the fact that they're trying, because they're not giving me something that's too good and something that's too bad. It just seems more believable. I hope all that made sense, but that's the way I think about things. It's kind of like, I know, but you have to observe your world and the people around you nowadays. You can't just take everything that someone says face value. Not in these days. You have to do your study. You have to know what is going into your brain, because people are always trying to deceive and to convince you of things that are not, and they could care less what the consequences are for you. But not everyone is like that, so you have to have discernment as well, right? So anyways, I'm done talking. This channel is called Judah J Talks. So I'm on message. I'm on fulfilling the mission statement of this channel. Judah J's talking. I've been talking, right? Now, when I make another channel, maybe it's Judah J chilling or something, when I'm just like this the whole time, like an hour, then it's gonna represent the channel, right? That's all I'm saying. Anyways, y'all bless y'all. I have another show, guys. Go check out the Truth Rap Live. Truth Rap Live. My show comes on every Sunday. Hold on, every Thursday. on this channel, you can hear some of the best truth hip hop, spreading the message of the Most High Yah, talking about the truth stuff that's going on in the world. No cursing. Everything is in the context. Now there was a couple songs where somebody sent me some songs where it had the ass, right? uh this one time and whatever, but it's not, this is top-notch music, and it has great messages in the music. Now what it is every Thursday is called Truth Rap Live. Artists will send in their tracks to me. They'll send it to my email, israeliteson12@gmail.com, and then I will listen to it. And what I'll do is I'll put it on this show called Truth Rap Live, and you just go see the episode that I just put on there. It's called Truth Rap Live episode 2. And now the intro is kind of long. I'm going to kind of shave that intro to just go kind of into the show, but you'll hear the music of the artist. You'll see their name, the name of the title. You'll see their media source info, the source media info, where you can go and see where their music's at. It could be SoundCloud, it could be iTunes, just wherever, YouTube, wherever. And then also you'll see their PayPal information, and you'll see their Cash App information, just so they can, be monetarily paid or whatever from those that would like to donate to them. But the main thing is the music. I'm going to have a lot of artists that are going to be on this show every week, and they're going to, hey, y'all bless you, KL. Yeah, it was hilarious. Every week, these artists are going to be on this show, Truth Rap Live, every Thursday. So when on my channel, check that show out every Thursday. If you are an artist and you're rapping about the truth, submit your track to israeliteson12@gmail.com. I'll take it. I'll put it on the show on Thursday. And now people are going to vote by putting your name in the comment section with the thumbs up. And the top 5 MCs, there'll be another show on Sunday, and that's called the Truth Rap Top 5 Countdown. And so then there'll be just the top 5. I'll tally up the votes, and then the top 5 will be in that countdown. So support the channel, support those 2 shows. They're very important to me. My music's on there. You'll be able to hear me get down. It's just something I'm doing because I'm trying to spread this message. There's a lot of talented people out there that are artists, that are musicians, and I want their voices to be heard. And I believe that that's the direction hip hop should go in, giving you a true message, dope, tight beats, and not talking about this worldly stuff, the money, the guns, the drugs, and the sex, and all this stuff that's not of the Most High. Talking to you about the Most High, talking to you about the truth of the world, and how it's really what's really going down around us. Check those 2 shows out, Sunday and Thursday. Truth Rap Live, and then Truth Rap Top 5 Countdown. Anyways, if you want to support the channel, you can go to the Judah J Cash App, # Judah J Talks 12, or you can go to my PayPal. The information is scrolling down here, and that is it. I'll praise the Most High Yah for you guys. Come back, like, share, subscribe. Until next time, shalom.